Hey Dad, I know it's been a while since we last spoke, a little over 5 years ago. I think about you every now and then, and sometimes I get the urge to stop by and pay you a visit, to check in on you and see how you're doing. But if I'm being completely honest, I can't bring myself to make an effort to be there when it wasn't reciprocated from you when I needed it the most. Growing up in our culture, we're taught to be obedient to our elders and to not question things that don't make sense to us. But I can never understand why the end of a marriage always included divorcing the children that it came from it. Maybe it would have been better if you were locked up in prison. At least then I could come see you instead of waiting for you to make time for me. Maybe then we could have those hard face-to-face convos that you might have been avoiding. Psh, who am I kidding? My scrawny self would have probably froze at the mere thought of confronting you. Despite your lack of presence, I was still invested in maintaining the public image of being a good son, and hold you accountable for your actions would have not fit that narrative. I know this probably sounds messed up, but truthfully speaking, I don't feel sad about us. I can acknowledge the great things that you've done while still validating my feelings towards our relationship or lack thereof. It's genuinely hard to miss something that wasn't there. All those times I acted out towards Mom, attempting to make something acknowledge and feel the same pain I had burning in me on the inside. I guess hurt people really do hurt people. I have my moments where I wish I could ask you questions. Questions like, have you ever been depressed? Did you ever have an anxiety attack? Do you ever get to a point in life where you feel like you're good enough? Those lead to other ones like, did you ever wonder how I was navigating through life? Or how did you feel about the void you left for me to fill, knowing that I'd never be able to do it? They always led me to 7 words that make me question my entire existence.
How come you don't want me, man?
To this day, I can't make it through that scene without crying. Every single time. Being on this earth for nearly 3 decades has taught me a few life lessons. For one, we all carry our traumas differently. I have no idea how your relationship was with your own father. Maybe you just weren't aware of your absence. Maybe providing financially was your definition of being there. Maybe that is all that was expected of your generation. And maybe, just maybe, you were even praised and given pats on the back for taking ownership of that, until I was deemed old enough to shoulder that load as well. And I don't mean to sound patronizing, but did it ever cross your mind to think about me? Did you ever wonder if I had some sort of anger or resentment towards you, even though I did best to hide it? As a young boy growing up, I tried so hard to normalize and suppress that void due to my misguided idea of masculinity. Your absence caused a lot of friction between myself and my mother, who was just trying her best to make lemonade without being sour. It opened my eyes to all of the vulnerabilities and insecurities that I had to navigate through. Most, if not all, of my friends had their fathers in their lives, and every time I'd see them have a moment with their dads, I'd ask myself, was there something that I did to deserve this? For some reason, I couldn't help but feel like it was somehow my fault. It would eat at me the way fire eats wood. You see, I vividly remember when I was 19, I made a promise to myself. If I ever had a child, I would not repeat the cycle and put them through what I went through. Sure enough, when you make a promise to God, He puts you to the test. Because you see, I too got married and divorced, but not before He blessed me with a son. I promised that I'd be there for His sake. I wouldn't take my perceived failure out on him. It required a lot of financial, social, and emotional sacrifices. But if there's one thing that life's taught me, it's that nothing worth having comes easy, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm sure you'd be proud of that. I really wish I could show you the man that I am becoming. And no matter how much approval and praise I get from others, I'd much rather hear it from you. Your once shy firstborn has really come out of his shell. I found my voice through suffering in silence. Going to therapy and discovering writing as a coping mechanism has helped me build the confidence and self-esteem I so desperately needed. It's pushed me to sharing my story through blogging, stand-up, film, and most importantly, to myself. I know you can't respond from the grave, but I now understand that my closure is not going to be found in the answers, but rather through taking the active steps towards becoming better and not bitter. There isn't a day that goes by where I don't reflect on your absence and how it shaped me in a positive manner. I embrace the pain because I can channel that energy into becoming a better person for my son. I learned that continuing to be a victim to my circumstance was only delaying my healing. I had to stop feeling sorry for myself and start seizing the opportunity to rise from the ashes and become something extraordinary. Healing is constant. I'm glad that my son will be able to see me in all my flaws. I can confidently say that my own childhood helped ignite the extreme pride that I take in being a father. Parenthood is about feeding your child and not your ego. Doing the right thing regardless of how it makes you look or feel. Holding yourself accountable and welcoming it when it comes from your offspring. It's made me so much more aware of the impact a man can have on his child. And as much as I would love for you to see me, I really wish you were here today to see your grandson.
Raise them to become good people, believe it. Like you.
Man, he is something special. He's a spitting image of you when he's asleep. He has loads of personality, super caring, and not to mention knows that his looks can help him get away with almost anything. He's such a loving boy, and I can't wait to witness the great man that he is destined to become. I'm breaking the cycle, and I couldn't be more proud to do it with my little man. In a weird way, I guess I'm saying thank you for not being there. Your grandson really appreciates it.